dolphins gathered in a nearby area, swimming joyfully in the water, as if performing some kind of ritual. But upon closer observation, you'll notice, among the pod of dolphins, in the vast ocean, there are always areas unreachable by humans, and in these places lie countless secrets. From mummies discovered at sea, to century-old lighthouses standing in the ocean, and islands that suddenly appear at sea. In this episode, Mingxin is bringing you 15 ocean discoveries, and these discoveries are probably ones you've never seen before. If you're new here, welcome. To subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications, so you can be the first to watch more exciting content. Alright. Now, let's begin our story. Number 15. The Mer Lighthouse. The Mer Lighthouse is located in Brittany, France, near the famous Ushant Island. It was built in 1904. Its operation began in 1911. The reason for building the lighthouse here, it's because the nearby sea area has fast-moving currents, and is full of reefs. Plus, there is often severe weather, making navigation very dangerous. This makes it a place where ships need to be especially cautious when sailing. The construction of the lighthouse helps nearby ships navigate safely. The lighthouse itself is built on a stone base. The location is very isolated. The rock is almost completely submerged by seawater during storms. The lighthouse structure is built from solid stone materials. Its height is about 47 meters. This ensures that its light can be seen by ships from a distance. The interior of the lighthouse has 7 floors. At the top is the light chamber where the beacon shines. However, it is no longer operational. In the history of lighthouses, they were once manually operated. This meant that lighthouse keepers had to live and work here, enduring long periods of isolation and occasional extreme weather. Their job was very crucial, requiring them to maintain the lights, and ensure the light stayed on. At the same time, they also had to manage and maintain the entire lighthouse facility. In 1990, French photographer Jean Guichard took a photo of the La Jument lighthouse. The photo shook the entire world. It showed the lighthouse engulfed by a violent storm, and the lighthouse keeper, heroically standing at the doorway in the midst of the storm. The scene looked truly breathtaking. Not everyone possesses the heart to endure solitude and show such bravery. Number 14. The Mischievous Whale. Someone captured a shocking scene at a dock in Alaska, on what was originally calm water. Suddenly, lots of bubbles appeared. Then, countless small fish broke the surface. And next, a giant mouth emerged from the water. Then it quickly disappeared, leaving behind a huge splash. It was only when people reacted that they realized it was a whale feeding near the pier, which caused this rare sighting. In another video from 2022, in Massachusetts, USA, tourists are taking a small boat, enjoying the ocean view, but the next second, suddenly, many fish leaped out of the water. Immediately after, a massive black figure, like a rock, heavily crashed onto the boat. The tourists were startled. They didn't even know what had happened. It turned out to be a humpback whale hunting for fish nearby, accidentally bumped its head on the boat. I guess the whale was a bit stunned too. We can only hope it didn't get hurt because of it. The third paragraph is even more interesting. A humpback whale spotted a human boat. Its strong curiosity made it poke its head out of the water several times, trying to see what's going on inside the boat. I want to check the situation on the boat. But during the peeking process, VIV accidentally bumped into the glass, leaving a crack. I guess the humpback whale was totally confused. After that, it didn't dare to peek again. It just swam around the boat for a while, then left boldly. Ranked 13th. The real-life version of Life of Pi. August 31, 2018, a Panamanian cargo ship named Arpeggio discovered a raft in the waters near Guam. The crew noticed a person waving fabric on the small raft, signaling for help. They immediately started a rescue operation. After some effort, the crew successfully rescued the young man onto the ship. Later, they learned that the man's name was Aldi Naval Adilang. According to him, the man's original job was to manage a special floating fishing hut called a rompong, located about 125 kilometers offshore. The fishing hut has no engine or oars. and relies on a tether fixed to the seabed, floating on the sea surface, mainly used to attract deep-sea fish. LDI's job is to guard the lights and collect fish, maintaining the operation of the fishing hut. However, in July 2018, things took an unexpected turn. Due to the impact of a storm, the rope securing the fishing hut snapped. LDI's fishing hut began to drift uncontrollably on the sea. He was trapped on this small 7-meter-long raft. There was almost no navigation equipment. In the days that followed, LDI survived on extremely limited resources. He built a simple sunshade using wood from the raft. And he collected rainwater with clothes to quench his thirst. He continued trying to use the radio to contact the outside world. But due to the long distance, the attempts were unsuccessful. The fish he caught became his main source of food. Here's I. And he used the wooden raft's fencing as fuel to cook the fish. In Edie's memories, before he was rescued, many ships passed by him. But none of them noticed him. And this whole ordeal lasted for 49 days. The raft drifted from North Sulawesi, Indonesia, all the way to the vicinity of Guam, a total distance of 2,011 kilometers. It's hard to imagine, during this time, what exactly did he experience? If it were you or me, would we be able to hold on until the day we were rescued? Number 12. The Frenzy of Sea Lions and Whales. A group of tourists along the coast of California, USA, captured an incredible scene. A massive dark scene suddenly appeared over the sea. In the sky, a large number of birds were circling. Anyone unaware might think they were hunting. However, if you look closely, you'll notice that the dark mass is actually a large group of sea lions. There appear to be at least thousands of them. Sea lions are social animals. They often gather in groups to hunt in the ocean. But seeing this many whales at once is indeed quite rare. What's even more interesting is, a huge creature also appeared among the group. It looks like a humpback whale. These giants have joined the sea lions' wild party. Water spouts rise from their bodies one after another, as if expressing their joy. It's as if they're welcoming the arrival of humans. The entire scene looks truly spectacular. But why? Why did so many whales suddenly appear here? According to the footage, these creatures were feeding on a species called anchovies at the time. Perhaps the sea current gathered the anchovies together. Just as they were about to feast, they were spotted by a passing group of whales. So Han Chui joined the team as well. Sniff. Sniff. Oh, right. There were also white seabirds. Together, they formed a truly magnificent sight. Ranked 11th. A floating house at sea. Year 2023. Someone spotted a strange object floating on the sea, and only realized after zooming in, that it was actually a house. About 80% of the house was submerged in the water. With only the roof still drifting with the waves, the purple part emerges from the water. The entire document looks very bizarre. Once the video was released, it attracted a lot of discussion. Many people were very curious about how this house was dragged into the sea. Some people believe it must be a particular type of house, blown into the sea by a fierce storm. Some even suspected it was a damaged boathouse. But regardless of what it was, at least we hope the owner of this house is safe. The same thing happened with Meituan, but this time it was even more miraculous. On April 10, 2024, a house was found floating in the sea in San Francisco Bay, USA. The house is in perfect condition. According to media reports, the reason the house is floating on the sea is that the owner plans to move it to another location. The house was originally located near the pier in Redwood City. However, due to a legal dispute over the land, they finally decided to move it to San Rafael. It's just that no one expected to move house in the form of a seed chase. Many people are very curious about how exactly the house is lifted, and how does it move on the sea. Some believe there must be a platform under the house. The platform is powered by some kind of mechanism. We can only say, I hope everything goes smoothly during the move. Please, no wind or rain. Number 10. The White Carpet. In February 2022, a large white area appeared off the coast of France. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a massive area of dead fish. Later, it was discovered that it turns out this was a Dutch super trawler named FV Margiris that accidentally tore its fishing net during the process. This led to the death of about 100,000 bluefin tuna, which were released into the Atlantic Ocean. These fish covered an area of about 3,000 square meters on the sea surface. forming a massive carpet of dead fish. The incident was first revealed by the environmental organization Sea Shepherd. They released pictures and videos of the dead fish, which led to the French Minister of Fisheries and the EU Commissioner for Maritime Affairs and Fisheries expressing concern about it, and launching an investigation to determine the cause of the incident and responsibility. Although the vessel's representative body claimed this was a very rare accident, many environmental organizations and critics believe such large-scale fish deaths are unlikely to be accidental. They intentionally disposed of unwanted fish through illegal dumping. This is prohibited under EU fishing regulations. Number 9. Titanic 2.0. June 2022. The Norwegian cruise ship MS Sun had a minor incident while sailing in Alaska. The passengers on the cruise ship were quite shaken. The original purpose of the cruise was to visit Hubbard Glacier in Alaska. But on the way, it almost collided with a small iceberg. During this process, the passengers captured the scene on their phones. The originally calm sea suddenly had something strange emerge from below. The object seemed to be face to face with the cruise ship. Seconds later, amidst the passengers' panicked voices, this strange object finally revealed its true form. It turned out to be a massive iceberg. And it was rapidly surfacing, growing larger and larger. The passengers were horrified, thinking they were about to relive the tragedy of the Titanic. They even called this Titanic 2.0. But fortunately, the iceberg only lightly grazed the ship. It didn't cause too much damage. However, even so, the cruise ship didn't continue to its destination. Instead, it diverted to Juneau, Alaska for inspection. After an incident like this, no one could just casually continue the voyage, right? 8th place. Whale Tail Stand. An Australian YouTuber named Brody Moss, while kayaking, accidentally captured a rare behavior of a humpback whale. The whale held its tail vertically still above the water's surface. Next to her was a baby whale. There is still a reasonable explanation for this. Some theories suggest that whales might do this to regulate their body temperature. Because their tails are rich in blood vessels, this method allows them to efficiently release or absorb heat. But there's also another theory, that whales might be resting in this way. The same thing. In 2016, something similar happened in Hawaii, USA. A humpback whale lifted its tail straight up. Beside her, a calf was swimming nearby. Although this behavior by the whale seemed confusing to people, the next footage might be more intuitive and interesting. On July 24, 2016, a video shot in Alaska showed a whale appeared on the surface of the water. It first shot a stream of water through its blowhole, then it kept its tail above the water, continuously slapping the surface. Each slap sent huge splashes into the air. This strange behavior left the nearby people very puzzled. Some were even a bit frightened. Regarding breaching behavior, there are various explanations in the scientific community. For example, social interaction. Tail slapping could serve as a signal to communicate with other whales. It could be related to courtship, or locating other members. Alternatively, when feeding, tail slapping might help whales stir up the water. Objects embedded in sand or mud are exposed, or used to display strength or as a warning, to show their power through this behavior, or to demonstrate their superiority in competition with other whales, or even to warn other potential threats. In this case, which situation do the whales at this moment fit better? Feel free to leave comments and discuss. Ranked 7th. Mermaid Song. A TikTok influencer named Sauce90 claimed to have heard a mermaid song at sea, and even accidentally caught sight of a mermaid. This quickly caused quite a stir online. In a video clip, Sauce90 shared his experience while sailing at night. He recorded everything with his phone. During this process, you can clearly hear strange sounds in the distance. The influencer said that it was actually the song of a mermaid. Once the video was released, many netizens have joined the discussion. Some believe this is the legendary mermaid, but others are skeptical. They think it could be dolphin sounds. Some even believe it's fake news made by Sauce90. In response, the influencer has made no reply. A day later, he posted another piece of almost identical content. Netizens once again heard the so-called mermaid's voice. In the following days, he uploaded videos multiple times. Each time, there was this strange sound. And on one occasion, in the content he posted, it even showed what seemed to be a written account of a suspected mermaid, pushed the entire event to a climax. Regarding this event, many netizens have different opinions. In the influencer's subsequent responses, sometimes it's said to be real, other times it's just for entertainment. Always vague and ambiguous. So the incident eventually faded away without resolution. But people's fascination with mermaids has never ceased. For example, in 2018, someone captured an interesting image on a ship. On a distant reef, a person was clearly sitting there, but upon closer inspection, you'd notice that the lower half of this person looked remarkably like a fish. It's very similar to a mermaid. Some people think the mermaid in the video might not be a statue. But the left arm of the creature clearly moves. So it's definitely not a statue. But does that prove she's a mermaid? Or is it someone pretending? Regarding this, how does everyone feel about this? Number 6. Elephant Rescue. 2017, the Sri Lankan Navy, while on a routine patrol mission, accidentally discovered a swimming elephant about 13 kilometers off the coast. They speculated this elephant might have strayed during its walk in the island's waters and accidentally deviated from its planned route, which is how it ended up in the open sea. When they found this poor animal, the elephant was quite exhausted. Although they can use their trunks to breathe in the water, and can stay in the water for long periods without danger, if they're in deep water, continuous swimming would make the elephant extremely fatigued. If left unchecked, the consequences would be quite dangerous. The Sri Lankan Navy immediately launched a rescue operation. They used boats to approach the elephant, carefully guiding it to a shallow area. Because of the elephant's large size, pulling it directly onto the boat was very difficult. Moreover, the elephant might act dangerously because of this, leading to unnecessary risks, and causing avoidable trouble and injuries. So they used the most primitive method. The rescue process lasted about 12 solid hours. In the end, the elephant successfully reached shallow waters with the Navy's help, and then walked onto the shore by itself, safely returned to its familiar environment. Number 5. Captured a megalodon. In 2016, a video caused a lot of controversy online. According to the video uploader, a camera in the depths of the Mariana Trench in the Pacific captured a strange creature. The creature is enormous. It's estimated to be at least 18 meters long. It appears to be a massive shark. This footage was later uploaded online. It caught the attention of many people. Some believe this mysterious creature could be the giant shark that existed 3 million years ago. If that were truly the case, then the MO would prove they still live on this planet. But humans would find it very difficult to discover them. Is it really true about the MO? The answer is no. This video was actually filmed around 2003, by Japanese scientists in a bay. What's shown on screen is not a megalodon. It's a species called the Pacific sleeper shark. The largest individuals of this shark can reach around 7 meters in length, quite a bit smaller than the megashark. The reason it was mistaken for a megashark could be related to the camera angle. Especially when filmed too close, it may create a visual illusion. 4th place, Hunga Tonga. In 2019, an underwater volcano near Tonga erupted, triggering a very rare natural phenomenon. The eruption produced a large amount of rock, with pores inside, allowing it to float on the sea surface. Thus, it is called pumice. These pumice stones are as small as centimeters. Some are even bigger than a basketball. They covered at least about 150 square kilometers of ocean surface, creating a particularly spectacular sight. This pumice field plays a very positive role in the marine ecosystem. They provide temporary shelter for many marine organisms, such as algae, shellfish, and corals. These organisms can attach themselves to pumice. Drifting along with the pumice, they are carried to new locations, helping to spread biodiversity. Moreover, studies have shown that this pumice may eventually drift to Australia's Great Barrier Reef. providing essential biological material for the corals there, indirectly aiding in coral recovery. The pumice looks spectacular. But if a volcanic eruption happens in this area, and dense rocks come crashing down, the consequences would be unimaginable. Number 3. Shark jumping onto the boat. A video shows a person fishing at sea. Suddenly, a shark broke the surface of the water, and fell straight into the boat. The fisherman, startled by the sudden event, ran for his life. The whole scene looked both hilarious and absurd. People couldn't help but laugh. Yet they also felt a bit sorry for the shark. Of course, this wasn't the first time something like this happened. In New Zealand, a similar situation occurred. On November 6, 2022, when New Zealand fishermen were sailing their boat at sea, a big white belly suddenly appeared at the bow of the boat. Then it flipped over again. The fishermen were baffled by this sudden scene. After calming down, I realized it was actually a shark. But the shark was also pitiful. It opened its mouth full of sharp teeth, as if thinking, "Where am I? What am I doing?" The whole process lasted over a minute. According to the person who filmed it, the shark was later safely released back into the sea. Of course, this isn't over yet. There's still a written segment. Long Island, New York, 2017, when a shark surfaced. It got stuck in the boat's railing. During the stabilization process, the shark appeared to be in great pain. Its mouth was inexplicably bleeding bright red blood. Several times it tried to bite its way out and escape. But to no avail. Soon, the shark's struggle became more violent. The blood in its mouth flowed even more. But the good news is, the people on the boat didn't just stand by and watch. Instead, he tied the rope around the shark's tail, and slowly adjusted the shark's angle, finally releasing it into the water. Then he cut the rope. At this point, this poor creature was finally freed. Second place. Dolphin bodyguard. Dolphins are highly intelligent marine animals. They have large social networks. They often cooperate in hunting and caring for their young. Sometimes they even surface together as a group. This strengthens communication among them in various ways. Of course, these behaviors are limited to interactions within their species. However, in very rare circumstances, dolphins also exhibit courtship behavior toward other species. In 2012, fishermen in Cape Town, South Africa, accidentally captured an interesting scene. Hundreds of dolphins gathered in a nearby area, swimming joyfully in the water, as if performing some kind of ritual. But upon closer observation, you'll notice, among the pod of dolphins, a whale suddenly appeared. According to the person filming, this whale was in labor. The reason the dolphins gathered nearby was actually to protect the whale. Their actions form a strong protective net, keeping potential predators at bay, ensuring the whale mother and her calf can stay safe and sound. On the other hand, it seems that through this ritual, they are blessing the birth of a baby whale. First place. The mummy at sea. February 2016, a Filipino fisherman, while fishing at sea, accidentally discovered a drifting yacht. Out of curiosity, they boarded the ship to see what was really going on. They discovered that the navigation equipment on the ship had stopped working. It was speculated that it might have been damaged by severe weather. When they entered the cabin, a shocking scene unfolded. They discovered a male body. The body had already shown signs of dry decay. It was like a well-preserved mummy. The reason for this occurrence, as explained by scientists, was that the body had been exposed to prolonged dryness and the strong, salty sea winds. This caused the body to dehydrate rapidly without decaying. That's why this phenomenon occurred. After further investigation, and based on personal belongings found at the scene, the identity of the body has been confirmed. His name is Manfred Bajeret. He was a German sailor. According to the ship's logs and other records, he had been sailing alone at sea for many years. The police found at the scene, Manfred had no obvious signs of trauma or violence. This suggests his death may have occurred naturally, based on the location of the body, and the scattered items around him. It is likely that when he felt unwell, he tried to use the communication equipment in the cabin to call for help, but was unsuccessful. Therefore, it is inferred that Manfred most likely passed away due to a sudden heart attack. Alright, that's all for this episode's content. What do you think of these 15 ocean discoveries? Feel free to leave your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell, that way you won't miss more interesting content. See you in the next episode.